Today's documentary, The Sierra Nevada Mystery, The Vanishing of the Yuba City Five. A man was starving to death in a room full of food. That is the first cold fact. Inside, a man named Ted Weiher. He is emaciated. He has survived for months, perhaps. Yet Ted Weiher starved to death. And the others, they simply walked away into the snow. This is not a story about being lost. This is a story about a choice. It began in Yuba City, California, on February 24th, 1978. A Friday night. 5 friends, their lives intertwined by shared challenges and camaraderie. They were going to watch a UC Chico basketball game. They piled into Bill Sterling's 1969 Mercury Montego, a car that represented freedom. The last sighting was at a convenience store in Yuba City. They bought snacks. They were laughing. Then, they drove east, toward the Sierras, toward the game. Chico is west. This was the first wrong turn. They drove into the gathering darkness of the mountains, up a winding road called Highway 70, past towns that became smaller, darker, more remote. Back in Yuba City, families waited. And waited. The clock ticked past midnight. A slow, cold dread began to seep into the homes of 5 families. They had vanished. The search began in the logical places. Roadsides between Yuba City and Chico. Ditches. Riverbanks. Nothing. Then, a break. On March 9th, 2 weeks after they disappeared, a family driving on a remote Forest Service road saw something strange. A car, parked haphazardly, its nose against a bank of snow. It was the Mercury Montego. Inside, a chilling tableau. Jackets. Prescription bottles. A bag of hamburger buns. The men's wallets, with money inside. Search teams descended on the area. They found footprints leading away from the car, up the mountain. The prints were erratic, scuffled, as if the men were disoriented, struggling. They followed them for miles. The trail led to a creek, and then it vanished. The men had walked into a wilderness of towering pines and deep snow, wearing only light clothing. The official theory was grim. 5 disoriented men, suffering from hypothermia, wandered to their deaths. The mountain swallowed them. Case closed. But the families refused to believe it. The car's position made no sense. The road was a dead end, leading only to a closed campground. Why drive there? Then, on June 4th, 1978, a shocking discovery. A young man named Joseph Shans, searching on his own, ventured into an area called the Four Trees Winter Recreation Area. He saw a U.S. Forest Service trailer, used by snowmobilers in the winter. It was isolated, sitting alone in a vast clearing. The door was ajar. He pushed it open. The smell hit him first. The stale, sweet odor of decay. Inside, on a makeshift bed, was a body. It was Ted Weiher. He was wrapped in 8 makeshift blankets, cut from draperies and mattress covers. And on the shelves, untouched, were cases of sea rations. A propane heater with fuel. Matches. A survivalist's dream. Ted had been here for weeks, maybe months. He had survived the immediate crisis. He had found shelter. And then, he had starved. Investigators were stunned. This trailer was a mere 12 miles from where the car was found. A brutal hike through snow, but not impossible. Did all 5 men make it here? The evidence suggested yes. For other sets of footprints were seen around the trailer earlier in the spring, before melting. A single, lonely set then led away into the woods. The other 4 men had left Ted here. They had walked out, back into the freezing wilderness. But the questions now were monstrous, unanswerable. Why didn't Ted eat the food? Some rations were opened, but only a few. Why didn't they use the propane heater? It was full. The matches were there. The trailer was a haven of warmth, just waiting to be ignited. Instead, Ted slowly froze and starved. And the others, where did they go? In August, another gruesome find. Nearly 20 miles from the trailer, searchers found scattered bones. A skull. They belonged to Jack Madruga. The other 3 men, Bill Sterling, Jack Hewitt, and Gary Mathias, have never been found. Not a bone. Not a scrap of clothing. They evaporated. The investigation hit a wall. There were whispers. Foul play. Did they encounter someone on that mountain road? The wallet money argued against robbery. An accident? Then why the bizarre behavior at the trailer? The only theory that fit the physical evidence was also the most psychologically haunting. The men, in a state of extreme hypothermia and confusion, experienced a collective breakdown. They were incapable of recognizing the resources that could save them. The food was not food. The heater was not a heater. Their minds had broken under the cold, creating a shared psychosis that led them to abandon their friend and walk to their deaths. It is a theory that chills the blood. It means the greatest terror was not outside, in the snow. It was inside their own minds, locking them out of their own salvation. Decades have passed. The case files are thick with dust. The families have grown old, carrying the twin burdens of grief and profound mystery. What truly happened on that mountain? Was it a tragic series of missteps, a perfect storm of bad decisions and brutal weather? Or was there an external force, a person, a threat that forced them off the road and into that nightmare? The car's position suggests it was parked, not crashed. The lead investigator, Sheriff John R. Hellenthal, was haunted until his death. He said the trailer was the key. The fact they didn't use the supplies defied every human instinct. It pointed to a terror so deep it overrode survival itself. Today, the mountains stand silent. The trailer is gone. The road is still there, a rough track into the pines. Their vanishing is complete. The mystery is absolute. And the question echoes through the pines, unanswered, forever. Why didn't they just open a can? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to our channel. We bring you fascinating documentaries on history, science, civilizations, mysteries, and the untold stories that shaped our world. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new release. See you in the next one.